Hello there! Hello there, everyone! So, welcome to October's makeup webinar. We're going to host this on YouTube Live for everyone to see so that we can get definitely a few people started out on for YouTube. Turn this down. So, to start off, I'm here, Josh Veranda, as the Post-Secondary Vice President for Colorado HOSA. I come from University of Colorado, Colorado Springs, and I'll be hosting this month's makeup webinar for October, that is. So, I want to actually outline a few of the topics. We're going to talk about teamwork, we're going to talk about then teamwork, then we're going to talk about a bit of the news, actually after we talk about some of the resources that HOSA has to actually offer. So, I want to thank you all for coming here and being with us today. And I very much want to ask that you guys in the comments or in the chat, for those who are there, to comment your school, your name, and how many years have you guys been in HOSA. This is a great way to actually start off our communication. So, as stated, I want to thank all those also for who came to FLC. Glad to meet a lot of you guys out there. And it is our duty and honor to be working on a team with all you guys as members and advisors. We hope to communicate anything that we say in this PowerPoint as simply and as effectively as possible. And we hope to have you guys for a great audience. Okay, so following that, we're going to head into our first topic of the day, which is teamwork, as stated. So, teamwork. We're going to start off with 3 topics that actually outline teamwork. Communication, skill set delegation, and finally, we're going to talk about accountability. So, noting those 3, we're going to talk about communication. So, being friendly and communication is probably the forefront most thing that anyone should possibly ever do. We should think about communication as saying hello, good morning, saying names, and talking to people directly. Another next thing is being informative brief. Start with the topic, keep things short, and make sure that your team members know what you're actually talking about. Finally, staying on the same page, outlining and asking questions. Don't be afraid in case if someone, you or anyone else on your team, for a matter of instance, that communication only breaks down when people are not on the same page. So verification, verifying thoughts. Don't be afraid to ask questions. Don't forget to outline constantly, because someone might always think a different thought whenever the actual progress goes through. Skill set and delegation. Each member's strengths and experiences. At one point, maybe someone might end up having to go off and actually go and take people's different thoughts and weaknesses into account. People have different experiences and they might approach a problem a different way. So thus, considering that, we have people's strengths and weaknesses. People like to do certain things certain ways. Maybe they like to do other things in an unpreferable way, or some method that they would like to consider. Not one person actually should also work on the work. So having everyone at least have some assigned part is key to having work on the team. Finally, accountability. So working on achieving a goal. Progress is the only possible way to keep a team working. Actually, progress is only achieved when people are held accountable. So thus, working together on achieving goals, keeping checkups going, having encouragement, and for those who actually happen to not do work, constructive criticism is a massive part that you'd like to keep on them. You don't want to completely crush, but you also don't want to happen to work on just being completely negative. Constructive criticism is a method that I'd definitely recommend for keeping teamwork going. So following that, we actually have a few resources that we want to show to all the members and advisors that we want to reassure that they have at their disposal. So we have resources such as the National HOSA website, we have guidelines, and we have our Colorado HOSA website that we'd like to talk to you guys about. So starting off, we have the National HOSA website. Finding the website and getting to it is at hosa.org. Your primary for resources are right there. I'll actually pull it up right now for this, the HOSA website. So noting on this website, there's a lot of things that you can find on here. All the tabs can outline what specific things they'll probably talk about. And for those who are in the classroom, there's a few resources that you might want to find under resources, which seems a bit intuitive. So resources such as membership best practices, e-magazines, posters, these are great places to actually go and see any of the actual things that you can display in a classroom, put up on your wall, anything like that. If you want to promote HOSA, feel free to look here. Following the actual use of the National HOSA website for not only resources and such, we have actually the use of guidelines, which is important for any student working out there for their event. Guidelines are how you get judged and how anything in your event is going to run. It's a huge guidelines, not only for students, but also for judges. So as I stated, I pulled up the actual guidelines in my resources, and they're actually located on the national website, right here under competition guidelines. Here you can find a whole art list, every single one taking into account of which type of event you want to consider, all the way from recognition to events to health sciences. I pulled up nursing assisting because I competed in last year, and there's a few things to go over for nursing assisting. Then we'll scroll up all the way. First you have the intro page, such as an occasion. You go on to the actual outlines of skills, the kind of books that you need to read for this event, any type of things, what things competitors need to provide in order for them to actually compete in the event. This is stuff that you need to bring to the conference for skills and any of those for testing and skills, and anything else such as that will have to be acquainted at the actual competition. So as stated, there are also skills in this event, not only a test, and they're outlined in the beginning, but are brought into more detail as you actually get into the actual guidelines. So there's an event flow chart to show on how the actual event is supposed to be run, and then some sample questions for round 1 testing, such for nursing assisting. Or in case if you have a knowledge test, this would be sample questions for your whole knowledge test. Then following that is round 2 were skills events, such as nursing assisting. In this case, they would go over skills in detail of what you can be graded with points. First one on the skill for nursing assisting is hand washing, gladly enough. We have such things as removing jewelry and rings and stuff like that. It's a huge aspect of how to actually go through along with your actual event. These guidelines are truly key to succeeding within anyone's actual HOSA event. Following the resources of guidelines, we'd actually have the state inside website, Colorado HOSA, at hosa.cccs.edu. This is where you follow Colorado HOSA's news stated for the state leadership conference and such. I pulled up a tab that was able to outline this, and here we actually have Colorado HOSA's website. We'll go back first to the About section, or actually to the homepage, where people are first going to start off, usually whenever they actually see the Colorado HOSA website. Noting this is where anyone in Colorado HOSA can get in contact and where they can find information about any events that are going on in Colorado HOSA besides their social media. So this one actually has a few tabs. They outline such things as about, advisors, members, competition. They are hugely respective to their own categories. One I like to outline probably is for the members, where we have scholarships. One huge thing to actually do in HOSA is to apply for scholarships. A lot of people don't apply, and this is my recommendation to definitely apply. You click on the tab, and there's a deadline on December 31st, but this is the actual information to apply in such cases. Scholarship information on how to do so and where to apply. This also outlines competition and events, some resources for advisors, and we'd like to say this website is a huge way of getting information from us, Colorado HOSA, to you guys from our webpage. It's definitely one of those huge resources that anyone in Colorado HOSA I'd recommend to use. And for anyone, any other state, definitely for anyone to actually use their own state's website. So, great. So, we're going to have a bit of an update. I want to thank you again all for those who attended Fall Leadership Conference. We definitely saw a lot of you guys out there, and I'm hoping to see a lot of you guys at State Leadership Conference. I do want to state that online registration deadline is November 24th, 2017. Well, I hope it's this year, or else you wouldn't be able to compete next year. But, so, the registration deadline is this 24th. Don't forget to register for your online tests. Testing will occur at some point. It will be emailed out, and that will happen. So, follow us on social media. We also have a Facebook, we have an Instagram, we have a Snapchat, and a Twitter. These are where you can get some information up front and definitely some more space on a lot of different aspects that are going on, a bit more up to date than our monthly webinars. So, follow us on social media and you can get a lot more updated news and definitely a lot more interesting posts towards Colorado HOSA or HOSA itself. I want to thank you all, and I'm going to leave with a little bit of success story. So, we just have a few extra questions that we would like you guys to actually comment down in the end or put in the chat below stating, hey, what do you want to see in the webinar for November? What is your chapter planning out to do this month? And what questions do you guys have for us? We would love to answer these questions down below, and I'll definitely respond to them as we get the opportunity to do so. I want to thank you all for being here in this webinar today, and I hope the information was valuable and resourceful, and hope that overall this webinar is useful towards any of you guys. Thank you all. Bye.